It's 80 Rs.
All right. Good morning,
ATRs,
everyone. Welcome
right?
to the
So I'm right
pre-market show.
60
Good
times
morning,
times
Norm.
2
How
is
you doing
120
today?
minus the 40 times I'm wrong is
Hey,
80
good
Rs.
morning,
See
Carlos. I'm
that
great. How are you
10%
doing?
increase in accuracy leads to 30 more Rs. That's 60%. Let me repeat that. 10%
Can you hear me?
in order to
Oh,
seek a
there you go.
profit
Now
in
I
the
can hear you.
markets.
Perfect. All right, guys. Good morning. All right, let's get to it, Norm. How you been? How's the weekend?
I'm good. I had a great weekend. I got some. Hang on, sorry. YouTube. I guess I didn't have muted, so I apologize. Yeah, I had a good weekend. Yourself?
Yeah, had a great weekend. A lot of stuff going on in the markets today, and we're gonna get into that. I know you're probably up to speed with everything, so we're gonna get into some interesting stuff this morning. Also, for those that, again, if you do not follow us on YouTube, make sure you do, because there's a lot of interesting stuff going on there. So Brian posted his weekly recap yesterday. Some great information on there, so please make sure to take a look at that. I'm gonna post that link now so you guys have it. So we send that out there, and then let me get it over on YouTube as well. So let's get into it, guys. We don't have a list for yesterday, so we're not gonna go over the top highlights and plays today, but we will go over into the news, right into it, Norm. So fill us in on what you have so far, what's going on, anything exciting today and throughout the week that we can expect.
Well, like we've mentioned, I mean, we broke down from some support. There's a couple of levels on the SPY, if you look at the daily, that are kind of in this 274 range and then 270 below that. So we'll see if those can hold. I think we're 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks that the market's been down in a row, which hadn't happened in
And
8 years. So everybody's trying to, determine if this is a pullback or if this is a real, turn in the market that's going to be a longer lasting situation. It's been the VIX has been kind of holding in a higher area than it has been in quite a while. It's sitting at 1876 this morning right now, which is about flat from Friday. But, we spent a lot of time around 12 to 13. So, it's about 50% up from there. And then Friday after the market closed, the Department of Justice announced that they are opening a probe into Google and about antitrust issues there. So a lot of people are comparing that to Microsoft in the 90s, which was like a 6, 7, 8 year ordeal. And they ended up winning the case. The government did, winning the case, and then Microsoft spent forever fighting it, a ton of money, and then it also kind of put them in a position that they missed out on some future business because of things that they were either, worried about, or got a little more conservative and really missed out in the 2000s when they could have and should have been able to grow. And some people say Google took over the search business in part because of that. So those are affecting, the FANG stocks of Facebook, Alphabet, which is Google, Amazon, Netflix. And so that's kind of what's going on right now. There's really, earnings season is essentially over. The only one reporting today is Box, and that's after the close. And then we've got some decent economic stuff, calendar stuff coming out this week. So this morning we're going to have final May PMI, 10 o'clock, the ISM manufacturing, see if that's contracting at all, construction spending, and so on. So we'll see. There's some decent economic stuff coming out this week that might either help support the market or tank it. We'll see.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting situation. And again, just check out also Brian's recap. I just sent the link on both places. Abby sent it on YouTube. A lot of good stuff on there, a lot of possible stuff he's watching, waiting for some kind of bounces. Some stuff is extended, so it'll be good to see what the market does this week and what it does today too. I think today might set somewhat of the tone of what kind of week we're going to see, but let's see.
For sure.
All right, excellent, guys. So let's get, as usual, into our gappers list. Then we'll go over into our NASDAQ active top 10 on both sides, active and gainers. Then we'll look at what you guys are watching. Maybe you have something on your end that we are not seeing here. We'd love to go over that here this morning. Also, for anyone joining us new for the first time for the month of June, welcome to Bearwood Traders. Welcome to the pre-market show. We're glad to have you. And if you're going live for the first time this month, also, we're here to support. So if you have any questions, run into any issues, definitely shoot it over in the chat. We got two main chat rooms. We keep that one for trading, then the one off topic. We there, throw your questions in there. And me and the rest of the moderators, we would love to help you out and get you going. So good luck to you. Trade small, be patient, and don't overtrade. Don't go crazy. It's your first day. Let things settle in. But trading small is the best advice that we can give you. All right, guys. So let's get into it. Let's run in here into GNCA on our list this morning, up 72%. That's quite a bit here. 1.1 million shares traded. So we got definitely some exciting stuff going on here. And I love this. This pre-market action here. This is a beautiful pre-market action. Look at this here. We haven't seen one like this in a while. Lately, last week, a lot of choppy stuff. But this is a very beautiful pre-market action. We got some serious good volume here. Let's take a closer look at the daily. The daily doesn't look too great, though. This stock seems to have been just chopping around over the last couple of weeks. We had a little dip here, and something must have happened here. Norman, do we have anything exciting going on this one?
Yeah, like Peter just mentioned, they had some positive drug trials that they released info for some cancer treatments. So that's what's popping it this morning. The low floats, it's a 6 million share float on that. So it not too surprising it would pop on news like that. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, this has a beautiful pre-market action. It got some great volume, but you're right. I mean, one of the things you got to watch out here, this is a 6 million shares float, so you want to be extra careful. Let's get some space in here, and I'm going to mark down this one over here under a risky pile. Next, we have CY. Let's look at CY and what we got going on there. So CY up 26.
Yeah, CY's
go ahead.
It's garbage. It's garbage, though. That's a buyout from a German company, so it's likely just going to do nothing.
Yeah, this is what a buyout looks like, guys. You have a nice pop here, and then just flat for the rest of the entire pre-market action here. So not much going on, and you could tell 6.7 million shares traded. Right, right around this time, it's usually a buyout. That's a lot of shares to be traded unless something huge is going on. You're not going to get that type of volume like that. So CY is no good, guys. We'll get rid of that one. Next, we have LK. LK up 6.2, 112,000 shares traded. Not a lot of volume. I'm sorry, barely cracking 100,000 here, but the pre-market action just doesn't look great at all. This doesn't look clean. You have this candle here, and then the rest just looks pretty flat, pretty choppy. Just look at the daily here. It's a recent IPO, looks like. Yeah, it is a recent IPO.
Yeah, it is. It's this is a Chinese coffee company that's trying to compete with Starbucks. They've got a little over a $4 billion market cap, and they've only been in business for 2 years. So it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's hard on these to know exactly what the float is because of lockup periods and everything else. But yeah, it's a low-ish float. And so news came out on this that some hedge funds were loading up on this. It came out over the weekend. So it wouldn't be something I'm going to personally trade. I just think it's probably on the little too risky size for me.
Yeah, in agreement with that. I mean, 42,000 shares flow. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but and the pre-market action doesn't look great neither at the moment. So we'll keep it on there, but that's one that we really want to be careful with and see what's going on there.
John, just a heads up. So the market cap and the float are independent. You can have a tiny float with a huge market cap if a large percentage of the shares are tied up. They're not available on the public market, which is the float. I'm not saying 42,000 shares is a correct number, but on these, like I just said, on these recent IPOs, it's very difficult to find the actual float sometimes.
And here on Teva, we have up 3.5, 448,000 shares traded. Good volume. I like the daily chart on Teva because it's been taking a hit over the last couple of days. Just really dropping. Had a big drop here on the 28th, I believe. And then just lower lows, lower high on this daily chart. And it looks like we're trying to get a bounce going here. Does not mean that we are going to bounce, but I do like the way this daily chart is forming. It's trying to find a bottom. It's up 3.5 right now, 3.6. So it could be interesting depending how it goes. But Right now, pre-market action is very choppy. It's got some volume, but again, it's not really looking too clean on this pre-market action at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see if it gets better. Again, what I like about this one here is really the daily chart, how it's been just, you know, getting hammered here. And now we're trying to put in some kind of a bounce here. We got some levels here, some moving averages we can try to go for. So we'll keep an eye on that. CNC. Here we have, we're down 8.2, 411,000 shares traded, so that's nice. Not a great daily chart. This is a very horrible daily chart here. You can see this is very choppy. Got some gaps in between here, so this is not clean. I do like that we're dropping quite a bit here, 8.3. We have some clean support that we have here towards the bottom, 51.87, and we'll have another one on here as well, very clean, right in this area above, slightly below 50, so we can get into those levels. But pre-market action, guys, not looking too great. It's a little early. It does have some volume, but this is not creating a nice pre-market action with some nice price action. So let's see what's the concern is on this one. Norm, what's making this one drop today? See what
there was some talk about them getting bought out, and Humana said it's not going to bid for them. So you know, it brings a buyout kind of stuff into question.
All right, so we'll watch it here. Again, doesn't look too great when it comes to the pre-market action. I like the drop here. I like some of the levels. Over the last couple of days, it's just been very choppy in this area here. It was trading nicely here. This is nice right here. It has a nice flow to it. You know, it's got some ranges, and then after this pop, it just goes into this pure choppiness, which doesn't look great. So let's see. Interesting to see what happens here. We'll keep an eye on it. Let's get into our NASDAQ active. So we have CY up here. CY is, this is the buyout. We talked about this one. Again, this was no good today. Popping up 26%, but pretty much flat. That's what a buyout will actually look like. VICL. So VICL here is 1.9 million shares traded, but it looks more like a penny stock, guys. And look at this daily chart. This is a very nasty daily chart. You don't want to be involved in this. Doesn't move much. It's been basically trading between, what, 5 cents over these couple of days. So you don't want to be involved in this. Looks like, look at this pre-market action also. I mean, this thing has been trading 1.9 million shares, barely dropping, popped up, and just kind of selling off now. So again, not really clean. Don't get fooled by the volume on this. It's a stock you don't want to be involved in. FTD, this was one that someone mentioned earlier today. I think I believe it was Nick that mentioned in our chat room earlier. So these guys had a bankruptcy. They filed for bankruptcy. They were trading at 40 bucks at one time, and now they're under a buck, under 50 cents. I mean, 12 cents. That's just crazy. So not sure what to expect out of this one. But again, is anything under a dollar trading like a penny stock like this is very difficult to trade. So I'm just gonna stay away from it. Down 84%. Got 1.4 million shares traded. Again, just staying away from this type of stock. Next, we have the NASDAQ ETF. Then next, we have HTBX, also a penny stock on here. Again, not our niche, so we're going to skip that one. IG. So IG also a penny stock, not looking too great even on the pre-market action right now, so we'll bypass that one. Here we have AMD. AMD seems to want to put in a good pre-market action. It's got some nice range here, not a lot of volume, but it's got a nice range here it's trying to put together. So, you know, we'll throw AMD on here since we don't have a lot of great stuff on trading on its own independently. We'll throw AMD on there, see what that gives us today. OTLK has been the talk of the last 2 weeks. This thing has just been all over the place. What do we have today? So today is popping up a bit here, 20%, which again it's quite a bit for a stock that's trading at $2. But just look at this daily chart, guys. It's just not clean. I mean, you could catch out a few breakouts here, maybe do a few scalp if that's your strategy. That's doable in this stock because you are going to get the volume, you are going to get momentum. Right now we have 511,000 shares traded, and you know, it looks like it's very active in this pre-market action. Just zooming in here, look at this pop from 240 all the way up to $3 and then right back down. My concern with this one is the way it trades in the morning. When it opens, I mean, look at this open here. You don't want to be caught in any of this stuff, right? So this is just nastiness, guys. Be very careful with this one. What's the float on this also? OTLK. Yes, 19. It's a little higher, 19-ish million share float. But again, it's just this. Even this daily chart doesn't look clean. You're also getting into a point of resistance. This $3 level has been very tough to break. Every time we get there, it's a big drop based on this daily chart. So careful with that one. I'm not going to watch it. It's just, I think it's just a little tough to trade, and I really want to stay away from these low floats. Last one on this list, AMRH. Nothing happening here. Horrible penny stock. We'll stay away from that one. GNCA we have already. This one is a low flow, but this one is trading nicely. This is a good pre-market action for a low flow. Looks like it wants to break out, leaving $9 as we saw it earlier. Now hitting 12. This is definitely active. If you have a strategy for this that you like and you know how to manage your risk correctly, it looks like it's going to be tradable today. But again, guys, make sure you have a strategy. Don't go in here just to get in and be part of the action. That usually sometimes never works. Okay, and you might get lucky here and there, but I guarantee you will pay the price either sooner or later. And it's not going to be fun. CY, again, that's the buyout. OTLK we have here. Again, it's just doesn't trade well on this low flow. ATXI, not much happening here, not much volume. ZSRRA, same situation. MDGS, even worse. Let's get down to ZFGN, also no volume. INNT, nothing going on. Mankind, MNKD, nothing happening here. And PTI, horrible. All right, guys, so this is what we have. Let's look at what you guys have on your end. What do you like this morning? What are you seeing that might be good, or anything you had over from last week that you think might possibly run today? Let's take a look at those.
Hey, Carlos, I've got Facebook might be interesting today. Apple's got their developers conference where it sounds like they're going to announce some real big changes to iTunes, and then Twilio, TWLO. Take a look at those three.
Excellent. We'll take a look at those three, and TWLO, right? Yep. All right, excellent. So Facebook, yeah, Facebook's got a lot going on. Again, it's just been very choppy over the last couple of days, but now you can see this drop, all the news breaking out. So I am 100% going to watch Facebook today. It's going to be interesting to see what it does. Again, you got some levels of support in here that we're going to get into after we go through our list. Apple seems to be putting a bounce back here. Pre-market action is looking great.
It needs volume.
Yeah, it needs volume.
Yeah, it looks good. It just needs some volume, which it'll get today. That's one of those things that doesn't really bother me. So
right, exactly. It's kind of like the AMD and AMU, right? They could look horrible or whatever with the volume wise, but they will get the volume. It's just Apple is the same way. So this pre-market action looks good. It looks like it really wants to put in a bounce. Again, have no bias on this, but it looks very active this morning pre-market action wise. If it gets the volume here, which we know it will, it can get going nicely. So look at this drop. It comes all the way down here to 173 now, 175 just this morning alone. And we got some very nice clean levels in here that we can play with. So we'll look at those more closely in a second. So Apple is good. Facebook is good with all the news going around here. TWLO needs the volume, but I see what you're looking at, Norm. It's got a nice little pop here.
Yeah, the daily continuation from last week is kind of interesting. Depending on what it does, it may do nothing, but
no, yeah, definitely like this one here too. This daily looks very nice. Again, look how the supports are reacting, guys. So it comes right down here, cannot break from here, squeezes up all the way up here. Now we're getting somewhat of a continuation, and we got some very clean levels we can find up here. So TWOO is interesting. What else, guys? What do you guys have on your end? GNCA, yeah, GNCA, guys, this one, yeah, you can't short. It's a low flow. So, and again, you don't want to short something like this. Just be very, very careful. This thing, it's hot right now. It's on a tear. People are jumping in here and buying it. You do not want to get squeezed on something like this. It can really run. Go ahead.
It's a blessing you can't short that, because you could get killed.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're going from $10 to 12 in a matter of 6 minutes, right? You don't want to be shorting this. This could be the next BPTH. You just never know. So what do we have here? IOVA. It is not looking too great right now. It doesn't have a lot of volume. Pre-market action is not looking great. Wow, I didn't know it had such a bad day Friday. So it had a nice red day on Friday. Might be putting in a bounce here or selling off. Here it can go both ways, right? You kind of got to bounce. It's gapping up a bit, but this could still be a continuation. To test this level one more time. But again, volume is not really there right now for me, so I'm gonna bypass watching that one. Yeah, BYND. Let's look at that one, because this has been the talk as well last week. I mean, this thing is just on a beautiful tear, higher highs, higher lows, all the way up here. Cracking 105. Brian took a beautiful trade last week on this. I wonder if he has any left on there, if he took everything off. But his trade was beautiful. On that morning, he capped up to 104. So just amazing. He was in around 95-ish or something. So nice little swing trade. Make sure you're signing up for the swing trades, guys. It's completely free. Go to our website at variabletraders.com. Go over to the swing trading tab, And all the way at the bottom, you can sign up to get the newsletters, not newsletters, the swing trade ideas and alerts that Brian is sending out. But don't just blindly follow. Get his book. Look at his weekly recap, his midweek recap, and actually learn the strategies. Right? Just blindly following someone, you'll get lucky here and there, but you want to know what you're doing. It's important to do that. All right, so yeah, BYND looks good. Doesn't have great pre-market action right now, right? It's pretty all over the place, but this is one you want to watch. I'm gonna put this on here because this one has just been very fun to watch, very interesting. It looks strong right now. It looks like it wants to continue to break a new high here. So yeah, let's see what's going on with that one. Next we have Cron. Let's see what some of our past stocks are doing. CRON. Doesn't have great volume right now, but I kind of see what you like here. I do like the daily chart myself. If this is what you're looking at, this is great. We're at a support where we had a couple of days ago, and we came down here really fast on this support. So if we lose this here, we got a moving average. We have some possibilities to head lower. Good place to bounce, but it seems to be on some kind of a little nice downtrend here. It's going to be interesting to see what it does at this level. This support here, whoops, let's make that smaller. This support here is interesting. So you can see we're on there right now, and it's been support and resistance in this area back in the beginning of the year. So Cron is good. I think this is one you could watch later on, but right now I'm not going to put it on my immediate watch list for the morning, but this is a good one for watch later today. Oh, FedEx is dropping. What's going on with FedEx? Down 2.3. Probably because of the overall market. Not sure if they have any special news, but this daily chart looks interesting on FedEx. Wow, FedEx was trading at 200 just last month, beginning of May. Now we're down here on the 150 here. So FedEx has been on a really nice down tear here. Yeah, losing it pretty bad right now. Pre-market action doesn't look too exciting, guys, but I see what you're looking at. It looks great on this daily. Something to watch as well later in the mid-morning. They are on their China probe.
Yeah, they're getting, I guess, supposedly accidentally rerouted some Huawei packages across and took them to their hub in Nashville, I believe. So the Chinese government is pretty much calling them out and saying, it's kind of crazy news. So that's part of what's going on with them, and China's threatening them, and they're in the trade war issues and everything else.
Yeah, that's definitely been hurting them big time. Abby, if you're listening, can you post the swing trading alerts on YouTube? There's some people asking there. Harry needs that link to get going there. All right, guys, what else do we have? What do we have going on? All right, we just looked at that one. CNC, lack of merger on news. All right, thank you, Jeff. We'll take a look at that. What else? All right, so
Carlos, one other I'm going to throw out there. Google will be interesting today. Correct. I agree with you, Vikram, but it's $1,000, $1,100 stock, so it won't be something I'm going to trade, even though but the other Roku's coming back to test 90. It's got its 9 daily moving average just below, so it might be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, let's throw Roku on here. Roku's also has been just very nice to trade, very clean right after the open, right? It's been giving some clean run-ups. So you can see here, you got a pretty we had this nice little consolidation popped up. We could be doing the same thing again, holding this consolidation. We got a nice moving average towards the bottom here. Again, it could have a nice run up here. So we'll definitely keep an eye on Roku and find some levels for it. All right, let's do a few more, guys. Let's do big BIG here. BIG, here we go. All right, so BIG, not a great pre-market action, not much volume. It is down 4.3 here. We got some nice little drops. This could be a continuation of last week. It gapped up and it just gave it all back, and now we're down some more again. So interesting when a stock does that, right? Because now you're at this level again. This is a very strong signal that the stock is weak, right? It's been weak over the last couple of days, just kind of dropping. Tries to break out here, cannot support this price at around 30. So now beautiful sell-off, gapping down again. Now this is one that could be in play. Doesn't have great volume right now, but I'll tell you this, I'll be on the lookout for this on the watch list, on the trade idea scanners. Turbo breakup, turbo breakdown, because I like the price range, and I really like this move here. You gap up so this much at the 30, sell off, and then now you're gapping down again. Could be indication of a weak stock, but again, don't go in there with any buys. Wait for the setup and see what it gives you. All right, guys, so let's go through this list. Let's find some levels. Before we do that, do we have any announcement norms for this week or anything else coming up?
Yeah, we've got a few things going on. Abiel just posted a minute ago. Our next, sorry, losing my mind there. I had my mind stuck on the Ask Me Anything from last weekend. Modern Traders Summit later this month, June 22nd, Montreal. Andrew's going to be speaking there. I'll be there. William will be there. Peter will be there. I don't know if any others will be, but it's possible. And then the night before, June 21st, is going to be a meetup in Montreal as well. The other thing, I think we're still doing voting on the trade setups, so keep your eye in there. At that forum, there's just some amazing setups that people have for the laptop prize, and I'm missing something. My mind just went blank, and I can't. I have my notes sitting here, and for some reason they're not here. I think my son stole them off my desk.
Good. Yeah, if we think of anything else, we'll throw it on. We'll throw it out there. All right, guys, let's find some levels here. We got quite a bit. Let's start over with the top. So LK, this one is up 5.7. The issue with this one is the pre-market action doesn't look great. So we got some volume going 140K. What I like about this one is the daily chart, right? This daily chart looks nice. It's been had reached an IPO, opened up here, seemed to have found a bottom, and then it's been doing higher highs, higher lows within that time. But again, pre-market action is not looking great, and also this is one with the flow. The flow is pretty low on this one, right? We don't know. We got to find out what's going on with this flow at 42,000. So let's get some levels for it. It'll be interesting to see what it does here, but I do like the way this daily is setting up here. So we have a level of 2177, which is the high of the pre-market. Then the really next level we have here, there's no moving average or anything else up here. You have 25, 26. But on the take profits, take the positions out, so be careful with those. Pre-market action not looking great. Let's give it a few more minutes. Let's see what it looks like around 9:15, whether we drop it or keep this one. Teva pretty flat right now, pretty choppy, just going sideways. Got some good volume, 476, but not creating a good pre-market action, right? What I like about Teva is this daily chart, though. It's been dropping nicely. Had a big drop a couple of days ago. It's trying to put in a bounce here, but right now it's pretty flat on what it really wants to do. So high of the pre-market is sitting at 908. Above that, we really have this great level up here with the moving average coming in, so that's nice. I don't think we might get to that, at least not right away. So I'm going to find a level of this one here, 939. The reason I'm marking this level down is because you have the open the open of this day here and then the drop. So that's the only real level you have. I think we're at all-time lows with Teva as well. So we're trying to bounce back from these levels here. Then towards the bottom, you really got several levels, highs and lows of 2 days ago, and also your previous day close. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is the all-time low right here. After again just being hammered here, just heading all the way down. So see what we got there. But again, just every time I look at this, it's just horrible. If I don't find anything else better throughout this list, I am going to drop this, because this pre-market action, regardless of the volume, this is not clean at all. Not something you want to be trading or watching. CNC. So CNC has a horrible daily chart. I don't like it. And the pre-market action is pretty much trying to get going here. It's got some good volume. It's down 8.3. That's what I like on this chart today. So let's find some levels for it. Let's get rid of some of these levels. Let's find some fresh ones. Low of the pre-market sitting at 52.45. We'll mark that down. Below that, you got several levels that I like. I like this one here. Is very clean, 50.69. You got these days using it as resistance. Then support here, and then some more support in this area. I'm sorry, resistance here, support in this area at 56 before it bounces back up. You have another one down here as well, 49.36, right? Several days also bouncing from this area, and then it clear all the way down here in the bottom, 47, right on the flat number. You got several days opening and closing around that area, and this one clear bounce, opens up, comes down to that 47, and a beautiful bounce on the way up. So I like those levels. Then towards the top, we got a moving average here. I'm going to mark right at 54. It's a great moving average to have. I'm going to mark that one down. And then towards the top above this, you really have this day here. And I'll tell you why this level, is good. 54.93. You got several days just testing this. You got these 2 days here. You got all these days here opening and closing around this area, right? Obviously, some clear support happening around there, or resistance, and then you have these days using it as support as well, bouncing right off there. And then you also above that, you got a moving average. You got the highs and lows of 2 days ago, and the pre-market high up here. at around 56.67. So plenty of clean levels on this one. The daily chart over the last couple of weeks we talked about has been very choppy, but this drop, I like this drop, seems good. Hopefully the pre-market action can get going, because right now it's not looking too great, pretty flat. Our buddy AMD has got some good volume. It's starting to put in a really good pre-market action, right? So we can see the range setting up here, right? It's trying to break out of this pre-market high at 27.73. Let's look at the daily, see what we got going on here on the daily. So high of the pre-market right now, 27.73. That might change, but we'll mark it down for now. Right on there, 27.73. Above that, we have this one level in here at 28.08. So let's mark that down, 28.08. Above that, plenty of levels, previous day highs and lows. And towards the bottom, I'm going to mark down the pre-market low sitting at 27. You got the previous day close. It's dotted black line here as well. What else we have? I guess something below that, just in case. I don't think we'll drop that much, but just in case, we have 26.55 here as well. So AMD, I like the pre-market action. Hopefully you can get something nice out of this today. Facebook is starting to get going now. So we know Facebook is going to have an interesting day today. Low of the pre-market at the moment, which is trying to hold. Heading back down a little more. Right at 175. Let's bring this down to 175. Low of the pre-market. Here we go. That's good enough. So 175 low of the pre-market. Next level we have below that, we have not been down here in a couple of weeks. We have a very clean level right in here, this 174.28. Notice how these 3 days here and 4, this one here, I'm using that as some resistance. You have several days here using it as support as well. Then below that, you have a nice big drop. This is a good level here. I don't think it'll drop that much. That's a huge drop, 169.53. But in between here, I'm going to mark down this date, 171.86. So you have several days in here, and these two here using it as support. All right, so again, Facebook is interesting, starting to get going, starting to get some volume. Let's see if it can hold this 75. It's going back down to test the 75, which is the low of the pre-market. Let's see if it can hold that. Apple is also looking very nice. Beautiful pre-market action here. Starting to get some volume. You can see here the ramp is building. Hopefully you can keep the ramp going. Let's look what we got going on. So we're getting a bounce here on Apple. Here's the low of your pre-market, 73.40. Let's mark that down. Then towards the top, you really don't have to add anything. I mean, just look at this, how clean this is right now. You have highs and lows from the last 2 days, the last 2 trading days, Thursday and Friday, right in there. Look how clean that is. Then you got a moving average coming in very close to this level, so I'm not going to mark it down. If we can break out of this, which is possible for Apple to do today, we have another level here around the 180 area, kind of what Norm was talking about, this 180-ish level that Apple has that we've been watching over the last couple of days. So Apple is interesting. It's going here. It's really, really active. I can't wait to see the open on this one. TWLO needs to get the volume. It's one that has a great daily chart. I'm going to throw it down here next to big. These are our possibles for today. In case anything here is not looking too great, we can see what our possibles are doing. BYND at the moment, selling off nice here. I don't have shares for sure for BYND, so I'm going to remove it from here. Let's get that one out of the way for now. I think we have some really good ones that we can watch today. Let's look at, so we have Apple. Next we left off is Roku. So Roku's I'm also going to put down here as a possible. It needs to get the volume, which is kind of fair to say it's going to get the volume, right? And let's see if it can go back up and test this high of this all-time high sitting up here around 96 or so. Right now sitting at 90. If it decides to sell off, you have some levels in here at 88.03, and below that you got a very nice clean level here at 83.75. This level, I didn't even notice the moving average. We got a moving average here, but this level has been clean resistance for this stock for a while. Look at this, look at how this sells up and sells right back down below this level. Again here, these here, and again just having a real tough time getting above that 83.75-ish area. When it finally breaks out, you can see the nice little pop, stays above that and heads all the way up to make new high. So I like Roku to watch and possibly later on, see if the volume can get going. Right now pre-market action not looking too great, but that's okay. Roku tends to do that, start off like this and then get going. All right, guys, let's just go through this one more time. So we have LK not looking too great on the pre-market, but I do like the daily, the way this is setting up. So I'll be careful with this one. I need to get a really good opening range breakup or strategy to take a trade on this one, and be careful with your size too. This thing could move, guys, right? You can tell here it's It's been moving in from 15 all the way up to 21, so be very careful on your size. Teva, I'm not sure on Teva. Again, just pretty choppy right now. I'm on the fence on it. We'll keep it here for now. It's got to get a better. CNC also very choppy a bit here. Let's see if we can test this 52 again. Volume hopefully starting to come in, and we can get a nice trade here. We can trade this both ways, guys. We got shares for short and long on this one, so let's hope we get something out of it. AMD is starting to build up, starting to get some really good volume. 700,000 shares traded now. Facebook is going to be very interesting today. Cannot wait to see how that opens. And then we have Apple also here with a beautiful pre-market action. Oh, let's not forget about our buddy GNCA. For the low flow team, we have it is up 12, high of the pre-market 1220, selling off a bit here. Let's go back. Let's get some levels for this bad boy today. What is it up right now? And up 92%. Wow. All right, so this one is it's no stranger to higher prices. You can see here, I'm trying to find a level within this area. We haven't been up here in a while, but we have a nice clean level in here where the price action is slightly below 1109. You can see that 1109, how that has some serious support and resistance. Not there, here as well. And then under that, we have this other great level. It looks like every whole dollar, really. That's what it looks like. Every whole dollar, 1010. Another area we see some support and resistance. And then what is this? Probably 9 as well. Yeah, so every whole dollar is some kind of a level. If you run a line right through 9, you can see clearly how you have some support in here, resistance in here, breaks out as support, you know. So now basically the whole dollars are what you're watching for this morning. And you can see in the pre-market how that's reacting, right? Once it gets to 10, you can see some some loss of momentum, breaks out, hits 11, hits 12, 1220, and now heading back down, kind of consolidating a bit here. So careful with this one, guys. Very low float. I think it was 6. We said, yeah, 6 million shares flow. So be very careful how you trade with this on your size. Trade a strategy. This is, if that's your niche, if you're in the low flow side, trade a strategy. Don't just randomly get in here and try to catch a move, because you will get caught eventually and pay the price. All right, guys, this is all I have right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect.
One quick announcement. I was actually just chatting with Karen over at DAS. And I know we've got a few of you guys that are starting their challenge this morning. And I believe the live challenge is starting today. So, their challenge is a little bit different than the way we ran ours. You guys, pre-market trading is completely available. And you can also hold shares overnight. So I told her I'd let you guys know that in case any of you in the room are in that challenge and didn't know.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We got a few people on there I'm rooting for, all you BBT guys, so definitely go in there and kill it. They got a great dashboard too. We're looking at the dashboard. I know you were on, I think it was last week, showing the dashboard online, so that's pretty neat what they got going on there. So is there any time for anyone to sign up today, Norm, or is it over? What's the deal?
I think their registration was ended last night, but I will ask and make sure right now, and I'll pop back on and let you know.
Yeah, let's find out, because again, if you want to join, you could definitely do that. Again, they also have a great gift. I think it's a tour of NASDAQ, I believe, right? So that's a very nice, sweet gift. Definitely join there and give it a shot. All right, guys, so this is what we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These stocks look very good, very active this morning. Here goes Apple. Again, Apple is going to be definitely interesting today. What else do we have? AMD, a little choppy right now, but hopefully the volume can get that going in one direction. CNC also very choppy, but I like the way the daily is here with this nice, beautiful drop of 8.4. Teva, also very choppy, but I also like the daily chart on this one as well, and the volume. And LK is not really getting any volume. I'm starting to think that's not really moving. Every time I look at it, it's exactly the same, pretty flat in here. So I might drop this one off. When Andrew comes on and does his watch list, Brian as well, I'll probably drop this one and see what else they got going on that we can watch, maybe like an MU or something. All right, what do we think about WSM? Let's check.
Their registration is open till midnight tonight Eastern.
Excellent.
For the DAS's challenge, and the website is it's the number 1, not ONE, just the number 1, besttrader.com.
Excellent. All right, guys, we'll get you guys that link and put it on the announcement, and also on YouTube in just a sec. All right, guys. So WSM, this one has no volume here. So this is why it's not popping up in any of our scanners. Daily chart again has had a nice pop on Friday, but not really doing much this morning. We could watch this for if it hits our scanners, any type of continuation it wants to do, but right now it's not really showing us any sign that it's really going to be in any possible play. All right, folks, this is what we have. Let's just gonna check, see if anything else we might have missed. Anything else you guys like? I see somebody saying Macy's, Sipto Sac. Let's see what we have here. Macy's, what do we got going on Macy's? Not much volume right now. It's been kind of holding this level here at 20-ish, 50. It's trying to put in a bounce. It looks like had a great bounce on Friday. It's funny, opened up and just came down here to 20 and came right back up. Basically ended flat. Could be a good sign of a change in direction here, right? Couldn't hold these levels, sold higher, and hopefully it can get going here. But right now, no volume on this one, so we will definitely stay away from that one. Let's look at the SPY, see what we got going on. The SPY looks like it wants to go red to green here. Let's see. Here we go. So yeah, so kind of bouncing back here, right from this 273-ish level. Might put in a red to green move, having some resistance here at the previous day close. So let's see. Again, gonna be an interesting week, guys. Make sure you catch Brian's recap. Also, Robert put an excellent video out yesterday on YouTube. Make sure you check that out as well, about trade management, how to manage your account. Definitely check it out. It's definitely worth a look after the trading day. Hop onto our YouTube channel and check out his trading plan template. So very interesting. All right, guys. So this is all we have. Unless there anything else, Norm, that we want to go over at the moment, I think we're going to call it for YouTube, guys. Trade safe. If you're trading live for the first time, be careful. Best advice we can give you is trade small. And if you're joining us in the Bear Bull members chat room for the first time, welcome. Any questions you have, off topic chat, we can definitely help you guys out. All right, guys, on YouTube, take care. Have a great day. We will see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern time. Trade safe. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Trade safe.